Manos de Oro. Poder y Fuerza. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Yo, thank you for pulling up to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I've been hearing a lot about this podcast.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Sick. I wasn't sure if you watched any episodes or anything like that. But
Nah, when you guys hit me up, I started watching and listening. But before even you guys hit me up, I was already in the know because Dan Seeley was on here. He was talking to our group chat about it. And shit,
sick, man. Yeah, he was sick. I really enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah, he was really
Shout
cool.
out to Dan.
Yeah,
but one thing that really hit me about you when I was, I've known about you for a while. I've been listening to Regulate for a long time. I'm from Massachusetts, so I go to Anchors Up all the time. That was like my home venue. And I remember when you guys came out, everybody was really hyped on you guys. And it's like, how old are you, 25?
24.
24. Okay, so you're 24 and you started a band. And with that band, which is like as DIY as it can get, you just pick up a guitar, pick up a mic, and you just make it happen. You've traveled all over the world. You've been to all over Asia. You've been all over Europe. You've been all over the place. You've been to Europe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been all over the place. You've been all over America, obviously. And you got a lot of heads who really like your band. I was watching this is Hardcore 2018. And mad heads were it was wild, bro. Does it trip you out?
Yeah, I mean it's honestly from the first hardcore show I went to or the first live set I ever watched, other than being just totally blown away by the music and just the energy of it, I was like, I want that for myself too. So like you bring up the Anchors Up show, that was our first out of state show, and we had played a few times on Long Island, but that was the first show that people were going off for our band. And people didn't know the lyrics, but they were just feeling the music and they were just dancing into it. And dude, that was like one of the apexes of my life. Cause like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like through dance and through just like physical exertion that I feel like appreciation for art that I've made with my friends. Or if it's just the fact that like we pulled up and people are just into it just to be into it. Everyone's having a good time. But there's something palpable about the energy that you receive off of people through something that you created with friends. So even whether it's Anchors Up and it was 50 people at the show, or if this is hardcore with fucking thousands of people in the venue and hundreds of people in your face singing, it's something that like gives me chills. And like when we're up there, I'm like snarling and making all these faces, but like I can't help but just like laugh and smile and be like, I can't believe this is like what I've wanted since I've heard my first hardcore song. And now that I'm where I wanted to be as a 13-year-old, it's unreal to me. It's literally a dream come true. You know what I mean? Like, as far as aspirations goes, being in a band that people like is honestly probably number one since I've been a kid.
How does it like, when you started it, did you think that any of this was going to come about?
No, of course not. No. I mean, like the demo was, we wrote, recorded, and released it all in a matter of 5 hours. And it was just like, oh, let's just start a band. I was on tour with our drummer's band. He was in a pop punk band. And we were on tour. One of the other guys in the band was like, let's start a hardcore band when we get back. So we did it. So it was very on a whim, and there was no expectation. And even when we put out the first 7-inch, like there was really no expectation. It wasn't until like maybe like that Anchors Up show was something like, oh, people are kind of like fucking with this. Or like when we played that TUI show, the Back to School Jam with
that was
TUI.
like their show back?
First show back. That was another one where I was like, wow, like this is fucking crazy. People are really into this. People that I don't know. That's like a big telling thing when it's not your friends going off and it's people that you have no ties to. It's like, okay, wow. It's not just a friend thing now at this point. You know what I mean?
I can't imagine. I mean, you go to Japan and you got a bunch of Japanese people singing like
OD.
Zero Tolerance, and
that shit was crazy, man.
How do you book those Asian tours?
I mean, like you said, it's very DIY. We don't have a manager or anything. Our drummer Harry, he's like the dad of the band, and he's just like, we need to go to Japan. So he started hitting niggas up over there, and they were like, yes. Let's make it happen. And that's really all it is. It's just through text, emails, Instagram messages, like just talking to people. You know what I mean?
Would you notice about the audience right away, or like the people when you got there, like compared to New York people?
I mean, so I listened to Dan's episode yesterday just to get like a vibe for what the podcast was like. And he was talking about Europe and what he's heard about Japan because he hasn't been there yet. But what he said is true. Like Europe, they're very, very appreciative. They take care of you. Japan and Asia as a whole is like that tenfold, honestly. And what he said about people being silent between songs is very true. It forced me to up my stage banter game a little bit to fill in that empty space. But sometimes it was nice. It's just like, because the song would end and people were going crazy, and then it's like just like a calm before the storm, and you kind of just lean into that, and you'd be like, all right, we're about to hit them again. You know what I mean? So with the people there, it's an unreal, unreal appreciation they have for music and as for you as people. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell they really care that you're there. And, you know, you play a show over here, the most you can hope for is like maybe $10 to go get lunch or a pizza. And if not, that's totally fine, because that's, you know, you're not expecting that. Over there, like, they cook for you, they hang out with you all day, they show you whatever you want to go to. You know what I mean? Like, they pick you up from the airport, they make sure you're housed. Like, there's no like, yo, we need a place to stay tonight. It's like, oh, we're staying with that guy tonight. He told us this 2 weeks ago. Like, you know what I mean? It's very taken care of there. It's very nice.
That's amazing, bro. That reminds me, because like I do a lot of martial arts and stuff like that, so I'm into Japanese culture a little bit, and I lurked on sumos and stuff like that, and I know that they all the sumos live together, and then when someone comes, all the sumos cook for them, and then they watch you eat first, and they sit there, and they basically, like you said, they completely take care of you, and they show a lot of hospitality, a lot of gratitude for you coming over. But
sure.
One thing that I wanted to say about your band was that I feel like, in a strange way, I don't know how to explain it, but it gives off of a good, I guess, interpretation of what it is to be our age growing up in this age. Specifically, what I wanted to talk about was the song Mind Crime, and about how you state that, you know, at 18 years old, you have to decide what you want to do with your life for the rest of your life. And I'm sure everybody can relate to that. When you're 18 years old, it's like, when you hear the words like choose your major, to you, it's like the biggest, what do you mean? So I choose this one, and then what if I do this for 2 years and then I change my mind? Do I got to go back 2 years? And 2 years sounds like an eternity just wasted, and you're spending a bunch of money. What was up with that song? Where did that come about?
I went to SVA for 4 years for film, and I didn't want to go to college. I was just kind of, after high school, I went to a vocational school for TV radio production, and I was like, this is cool. Like, let me try to, you know, work within this because it interests me and I can make some money off of it. But I was honestly more interested in going to shows and going on tour with my friends' bands and stuff like that. And that's what I was doing. And one day I got back from a tour. My dad was like, you have a good time? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, so what are you going to do now, though? You're going to go to college? I'm like, shit, I guess. He's like, okay. So I did that. And I did it because movies interest me. And then I did develop a passion for filmmaking through my education. But towards the end, at the end of the 4 years, I was like, dude, it doesn't live within me anymore. And it's very unfortunate because I'm in a lot of debt, and my parents put up money for one of the years as well. So like, on one hand, I feel like extremely privileged to be able to just go to college, because a lot of people I know don't have it like that. A lot of my relatives didn't have it like that growing up. So on one hand, like, yeah, it's incredible that I can just decide to go to college. And yeah, this is like, money is a thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the best financial situation, but people just can't just decide to do that. So I feel bad that I don't care about what I went to school for, but like, at the same time, like, I just wasn't happy. So like, I'm not gonna force something, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. As far as the song goes though, like, it's just every time I would pay a student loan bill, I would look at the little ticker, and I would look at my interest, and it was going up 72 cents per day. And that was one loan for $5,500, bro. Dude, it's almost where it was at the beginning of it. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I just stopped paying it because like, I will never be able to pay back all the money that I took out. So what's the point? It's just a cycle. You know what I mean? It's a fucking scheme. And
it is definitely a scheme.
100%. It's one of the biggest fucking consumer businesses in America is education, higher education. And it's bullshit because motherfuckers in Europe and shit. I was in France with my family, right? And I met up with this girl off Tinder. We were talking about school, and she was like, is American college expensive as they say? And I was like, yeah. And I would start telling her numbers. She's like, whoa, I paid $1,000 for my first year of college. And she goes to like a very renowned French school. And it's just like, why are these other superpowers in this world, their education systems are set up in a way for people to actually be able to do it. And over here, we're supposed to be, you know, top dog, number one, and people are fucking working all these jobs. 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids are fucking like working like they're grown-ass people, and you're still a kid. So at 18, you have to decide if you want to go to college, and you got to decide in a way, what's the trajectory you want to set your life on. And I think that's ridiculous. My sister's a teenager. She's going to have to make that decision soon. And I keep trying to tell her, like, yo, don't feel bad. Like, if you don't know what you want to do, that's fine. You shouldn't. Yeah. You're a fucking teenage girl. Like, it's not normal for us to want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's the same thing with me, man. When I went to high school for 12 years, and getting out, like I didn't want to go to college, but with like a traditional like mother, you know, like she wants the best for her kid, and like for some reason in their mind, like college is, you know, the only way to achieve, you know, quote unquote success in this life. Yeah. And I went to college, but like it just wasn't for me, man. I could not sit at a desk anymore. I couldn't like have an attention span to all the tests, all the, you know, going there all the time and doing something I didn't really have a passion for. So I dropped out, and like that was the worst thing I could like do for my mother. You know, like she would cry for
That's
months.
how I felt. Dude. I wanted to drop out too. I was like, I can't do it to my parents.
And she would be like, "Yo, like you have to do something with your life. You know, you have to have a career. Like otherwise, you're gonna be nothing. You're gonna be scrubbing toilets your whole life." And you know, and I thought like it's set up in a way where it's like if you don't go to college, then what's the good thing to go to? Oh, the military. That's more like you could fall back on that, you know. It's like a whole, it also has a career, and it's a lot easier. You don't have to have an education really to sign up for that, you know. You could start fresh and have that whole thing set up for you. And I didn't want to do that either, so like I went to work in construction. You know, there's very few roads set up for people to, you know, decide to go on. And like doing it yourself, like what you did is incredible, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's respectful, and there's like pure.
Sucks though.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's there's ups and downs, man, but there's purity in just, you know, putting up the finger and doing what you want. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not true to myself to do this higher education bullshit. I finished it out because my mother would jump off a building if I didn't finish college. You know what I mean? I wish I had the fucking bravery you did, dude. Honestly, because it was making me miserable. I was very depressed for 4 years, and like. It just wasn't making me happy. And I wrote that song, and I was like, you know what? No one's ever written a song about student debt loans or college in this way. And I was like, and I have people, honestly, that's like a song where like, people are like, hey, I like that song. But the lyrics are like, I'm feeling that right now. You know, I'm 20 years old. I'm 18 years old. Like, I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm like, hey, man, it fucking sucks. And if you don't feel happy doing it, you got to get it out. You got to do something.
It's something a lot of people don't talk to, because a lot of people are in debt, man. I've had a relationship with girls, and out of nowhere they would tell me how much debt they're in, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? That's insane. And you know, it's something that's almost like normalized, you know, like people get numb to it because they think, oh, if everyone's in debt, then you know, it's not a big deal. Like everyone is in this cycle of, you know,
it shouldn't be normal though.
No, it shouldn't be. And like you said in the song, you say like conform or fail. It reminds me of when I was younger in high school. You got to take the SAT, you got to take the ACT, and everyone's doing their papers to get ready for the upcoming year, which is when you apply for college or when you go to college, and the teachers are coming around desk to desk, making sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And if you don't, and if you say, oh, I'm actually not doing that, maybe if your response, which I consider an intelligent response, is, let's say you're talking to the teacher and she comes to your desk and you say, oh, I actually, since I'm so young, I have a relative understanding that my mind isn't really formed yet. Maybe if I do want to go to college, I'm going to really search into it deeply for myself. Give me a year or two, and then I'll find out. Because, you know, at that time, a year or two, like I said, it sounds crazy, but it's going to save you so much time and money in the long run if you just, you know, like you said, what did you say, break the trend, educate?
Yeah, educate yourself.
Gain knowledge in your own way. We're in the age of the internet, in the age of, you know, libraries. You can go and find out all this stuff and what path you really want. How much is it really going to cost? What's it going to cost me mentally too? What is this going to do? Do I even want to do this? What am I? It takes a toll
on you. And there's really no reason to go to college now. If you're interested in if you're interested in academia, you can find a way without putting up thousands upon thousands of dollars and putting yourself in 6-digit debt. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a way.
Man. Absolutely. You talk about your mom and the fact that she really wanted you to go to college, and I can relate to that because I'm Ecuadorian and both of my parents are from Ecuador. Mm-hmm. They came here when I was younger, and you know, they had a lot of struggles when they first came here. And their dream, like a lot of immigrant parents' dreams, is to, and she's probably listening to this right now, so damo. But a lot of immigrants' parents' dreams is, I'm going to have my son, daughter, whatever, and she's going to become a doctor. And he's going to become this or that, and they're going to go to college. You have the American picture played out for you in your South American mind. And you come here, and your kid gets into hardcore. Your kid gets into graffiti. Your kid starts fighting. Your kid starts getting expelled. Oh my God! And then your kid brings friends over, and they got tattoos all over their hands, bro. And
it's my exact life.
So, Was that one of the big reasons that you went to school?
What do you mean, like fear of my mother?
I mean, or parents in general, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Colombian, so we're neighbors, and I was born over there too. So like, I grew up in Bensonhurst with my mom, my grandparents in an apartment, and I mean, I was raised like any other immigrant kid was, like big emphasis on education, like. You have to do more than people who were born here who had like a bit of a head start or whatever. So yeah, like I knew my mom wanted it for me going to college. Like anyone that comes here from a different place, college is one of those things that they want for their child. Because it's like, I feel like it's a part of like the American dream, which is bullshit as the three of us know. We don't have to say it, but we just know it. But it's a part of that whole thing. It's one of the steps to American success. So of course my mom wanted that, and I want to make her proud at any opportunity I can. So like, yeah, I kind of had to swallow my own fucking pride and like what I wanted to be like, all right, let me give it a shot. At the very least I can do is try for my mom and my dad. Like, I mean, that's just the thing. Like, even if you're not an immigrant and your parents are just, Hispanic or just blue collar people, it's more of a class thing, I think, a lot of times. Because if your parents didn't have a lot growing up, of course they want you to have more, double than what they had. But they're going to want you to put in the work at some point. You know what I mean? They don't want to hand you anything because they didn't have that. So it's not natural for them to be like, well, I'm going to hand my kids shit. It's like, I want them to do good, but they need to put in the work like I did. Maybe it's not working two jobs or the late night shift or anything, but like, I want them to have the same work ethic as I did.
Yeah, and the work ethic of those people is, at least in my experience from people from South America, is bugged out.
Yeah, it's unreal.
So it's unreal, and I've never seen my dad complain ever.
Yep.
Or put a bad face like, oh, I gotta do this shit now.
That's just it. It's just life.
That's just it, and you should be happy that you
have the chance to do it. That you can wake up every day at 4 a.m. and go do whatever you're doing.
For someone like me, growing up, it was such black and white. I'd see this one thing from my family, and then from my friends who we'd be into all this other stuff, I'd see this totally other thing where the most important thing isn't necessarily what you have to do. It's more about what you feel, and I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that it's totally different. I think there should be a middle ground, but it's more about what you feel and who you are, and I guess your feelings. Yeah. And then sometimes the way I grew up, it was more like, fuck your feelings. You're gonna do this shit right now.
That ass. Yeah.
And if you don't do it, then when I graduated from high school, my mom was like, I wasn't gonna go to college or anything, and my mom was like, so you got an acceptance letter from blah blah blah, and I'm like, acceptance letter? I didn't apply to anything. And she goes, oh, I applied for you. And she's like, so you're gonna go crazy. Here? And I'm like, go here for what? She's like, oh, you're gonna be a chemistry major. I'm like, said who?
And she's like, and you didn't know at all?
No, I didn't know. She was like, said me. And then I'm like, well, what if I say no? And then she's like, well, then you can go, work at Dunkin' Donuts, work at McDonald's, because that's the idea. You're gonna be a McDonald's worker. That's what they always say. If you don't, so you can just go do that now, so you can get used to the life you're gonna be living.
Oh my god!
Or she's like, or you could just get out. And I was like, all right. So I guess I'll do it. So I was a chemistry major, bro.
Fuck.
And I graduated.
That's a very brown mom thing to do. It's just send a fucking letter to college for you and be like, hey, guess what? We made it. I mean, you made it. Yeah, I made it. We made it. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy, dude.
How do you think your background and your culture affected you growing up, or those of your ancestors, especially now as we get into this age where there's a big divide in that stuff?
Well, I mean, my background, just for the context, is like I said, Colombian. But if you're Colombian or if you're from a lot of places in South America, you're not one thing. You know what I mean? It's a big mix, So my background is my mother's parents, my grandparents, they come from enslaved people and from indigenous people. My biological father comes from Spanish people, from Spain, and indigenous people. So, honestly, growing up was interesting because when you look at my family, my whole mother's side, they're black. They look like black people. But growing up Latino is like, now the way I think of it, I used to think of Latino as a race, but to me now it's like a cultural thing, because like you can look like anything and be Latino. But like people would ask me at school and shit when they see my mom, they'd be like, oh, I didn't know you were black. I'm like, oh, I'm not black, I'm Colombian, I'm Latino. And now it's just funny to think about as a kid saying that, because that's fucking ridiculous. Like, no, like you could be a white Latino, a black Latino, whatever it is. So now I'm like kind of within the last few years, becoming more and more comfortable with what I am and being aware of what I am. You know what I mean? As far as how it affected me growing up, is like, I mean, I grew up like any Latino kid did. You know what I mean? Like salsa music playing on Sundays while everyone cleans, and like rice and beans and shit, and like, you know, and I grew up in Bensonhurst, and as you know, it's not very like black or brown neighborhood. You know what I mean? So that wasn't it. I was very early on introduced to people from all over. A lot of my friends are Eastern European or Chinese, or, you know, mostly Italians. And I think I had a more of an appreciation for my own culture and background and all that, because I was surrounded by people that I couldn't relate to. So I was like this at school, but I go home and I can be me. I can speak Spanish. I could eat our foods, you know what I mean, or watch our shows and do this and that. So I have like a very intense appreciation for my background and my ancestors, my family.
Have you been to Colombia in a minute? Or?
Last time I was born there, but only spent like a year or so there. I went back when I was 5. My mom and I tried to move back, but it didn't work out, so we came back to Brooklyn. I was supposed to go back for the first time since I was 5 this summer, and Corona just fucked me, you know. That sucks. I was gonna be there for like 2 weeks with my family, and my sister, who, you know, we have different fathers, so she's half Colombian. It was gonna be her first time, and I was so excited for her to really, you know, have that peace, you know what I mean? But I don't know, hopefully next year things we'll be able to get over there.
I hope you guys can go over there.
It's
too.
important. Everyone needs to go back to, you know, where they're from.
And those places are so different from America.
100%.
So different, because Europe, you know, it's different from America, but it also has a lot of similarities. But over there, I've never been to Colombia, but I've been to Ecuador a lot of times. I used to go when my grandma from over there was alive. We'd go every single year to visit her, and it's so different, man. Yeah. Everything is, I mean, you know, it's just how the people interact with each other too. Yep. It's crazy, because it's one of those places are usually impoverished, and they're third world countries, and there's a lot of robberies and stuff like that. But then the people here, you walk down the street and someone's gonna grill you. I never experienced that over there, unless someone's gonna like thinking about robbing.
Unless they're about to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's all happy. They'll share this. They'll share that. Everyone's saying hi to each other. And here you don't got that.
I think it's just American culture is not very empathetic culture, and even just in the most mundane interactions, just walking across somebody, there's just a level of like respect and like community and empathy that people in other places have that we might just not possess here. You know what I mean? And it's, I don't know what it is, but like it's just something that actually in the last, you know, 12 months, last year, that I've realized it's like empathy is something that is not very prevalent in American culture. And it's just something I think that we all need, you know, at least a little bit of it, just for the people around you. You know what I mean? You can't have empathy without respect. So I guess we need respect for one another first. And in other places, like there's just a different sense of community. Even in Asia or Australia, New Zealand, like all the places I've been able to go to through music, like and even if it's with people that I've met through the music or just random people on the street, the way they treat you, even as an outsider, they give you that respect. You know what I mean? More so than than their neighbors, because they're like, you're not from here, let me help you. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's like that over here. Yeah. It's weird.
I think like this city in particular is so populated. It's almost like a dog eat dog mentality. You know, everyone's out to get their own. They need to provide for their family, and you know, like supplies are limited in a way. Like speaking like in terms of jobs and opportunities, because there's so much competition. If you want to go into a certain field, people are willing to do whatever it takes. It's just to provide or start or have something of their own in this city. You know, because financially too, it's super expensive. And I think when you do get your own thing, you have to fight every day to keep it, to maintain it, you know, like you're so used to the schedule you have, and you have to follow that. And like anyone that tries to break you out of that or like interrupt, you know, like whether it be the smallest altercation in traffic, you know, people are just so tense. They don't want anything like disrupting their like,
we're wound up over here.
What they got, you know what I
mean? And I get it too. Like I get wanting to provide for you and your family. Yeah. I understand that. But like you said before, when we were talking about hardcore and family, where the family wants you to be like this and hardcore is more like this, there needs to be a middle ground. And there needs to be a middle ground here. You can provide for yourself and your family, but there should be a level of awareness that you have for the people around you, that you care about them. I don't know how to tell people that they should care about other people. You know what I mean? But there needs to be a middle ground somewhere.
It's just something that's, like you said, it's culturally ingrained. It's hard to tell. You don't just tell somebody that.
Yeah.
Because they're just, oh yeah, that is a good idea. But then you walk down the street, someone looks at you, so what you looking at? And then, you know what I mean? Or someone steps on your shoe in the train, you're like, oh.
And it's on.
Yeah, over a shoe.
But that
causes the cycle. That causes the cycle of anger and tightness and depression and random acts of violence. Why is this one of the only countries where there's random, like someone just randomly picks up a gun, I think I'll shoot a bunch of people today. But in other places, it happens, but nowhere near.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Columbine was a huge thing, but now it happens all the time.
Yeah,
and it's not a huge, I don't know any of the real actual names of the places where it's happened. Or if I did at one point, I can't remember them off the top anymore, you know. I wonder if you think that this lack of empathy and this kind of situation that we all living in America, if that is one of the reasons why things like hardcore, things like hardcore hip hop, rap music, like all the underground music and skateboarding, graffiti, and all these kind of like counterculture things that, especially in terms of the artistic ones that have to do with letting out the energy that builds up inside of you through this everyday hammering, and it all started in America. And I think that's one of the reasons why is because if you don't have this driving fuel, then it's going to be hard. I was just listening to before you got here, I was listening to Killing Time and District 9, and I was just kind of really listening to the lyrics, and it's talking about stuff that everybody deals with. It's talking about stuff that we just talked about. Like one thing that sticks out was Killing Time was like it's hard to live a life with a back you cannot turn, and it's kind of like that. I don't know exactly what he meant by that lyric, but it's kind of like that. Yo, you're living this life every day, and you gotta just always be aware. And there's crazy motherfuckers outside. I'm on the train thinking, yo, I take this thing 4 times a day, 365 days a year. One day, the train door's gonna open, and someone's gonna be like, blah blah, boom, and just shoot me in the head.
Maybe.
It could
Especially now.
Especially right
Statistically
now.
speaking, that could happen.
I'm like, yo, I'm like reading on the train yesterday. I'm like, bro, this is gonna be my demise one day. Just sitting on this train, someone's open the door and be like, yo, you made $50, dead ass, and then just shoot, and that's gonna be it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of good to have a level of like awareness.
Yeah, on pointness. Yeah.
I mean, that's what comes with living in a big city too, especially New York City. It's not like it was in the 90s, 80s when, you know, older hardcore bands or our parents or whoever was around. And I'm happy about that. I hate people being like, man, I wish New York was like gritty again. Yes. Nigga, what? People were getting fucking chopped up on the fucking train. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like a year or so ago, there was news about some dude going around the trains, like giving people like $1.50s. And that was crazy news. But I'm sure in the 90s, early 2000s, 80s, what have you, it was like, it wouldn't even make the news because it happened all the time. I don't want that. What if my sister goes to school in the city and she's getting, I don't want that. That's not cool to me. I get it, but like, nah, that's whack.
It's the same thing. Like, it's one thing to be aware of yourself and, you know, feel responsible for yourself. But like, I think about my mother, you know, when she takes the train, or like I see these crazy videos, dudes pushing like old women into the tracks. I told my mom, like, yo, these people don't care how old you are, that you're a woman. Like, they don't care.
These people are crazy.
You can get caught up in a crazy situation, and it fucks with my head, like thinking like she's out just doing regular things, and I'm like, yo, this world, why do I have to think this, man? This is insane.
It's fucked up, man. Like, there's a lot of cool things about New York that maybe aren't as commonplace now, but the random acts of violence, that's not one that I want to make a comeback at all. Yeah. People who say that are people that live 2 hours east on Long Island, or people from fucking Nebraska who just moved to Bushwick.
Well, I think you know, it is a cool thing. I'm putting cool for anyone listening to this, just audio and in quotes, because it is a cool thing to be like, I'm from insert place that's pretty much a street war zone. Mm-hmm. That's a you know, it was glorified in everything, in all the music, including hardcore, you know, like Warzone, Lower East Side Crew. Lower East Side was hell on earth. Or it's not that they're trying to be cool in that sense. They're just proud of where they're from. You know, this is where we're from, where we're representing. And or even in hip hop, you know, I mentioned in the Gory podcast, like Capone and Noriega, they're standing in front of their buildings, but that has
a sense of pride too, you know.
And that has carried on to now. Mm-hmm. And then people move here, and they're like, well, I want it to be like that so that I can say, hey, it's just not anymore. And you should, like you said, you should be happy. Yeah. Because we talked to dudes like, we were talking to John Joseph, and bro, you couldn't.
Yeah, of course. He's one of those guys. He's seen shit, I'm sure, you know.
Anything, and it's
prime example.
Not cool.
It's not. It's
now
not.
you can walk around with a ring on every finger, fresh as hell.
Mm-hmm.
No, the chance of something happening to you in the LES is so low.
Especially
Not
in
a
the
chance.
LES.
Yeah.
But hey, for the people out there listening that want that shit to come back, there's some places we could take you. Probably,
Yeah.
you could show up to Brownsville. I'm
You
sure.
wanna taste it?
Exactly. There, you could, if you could look for it, you will find it. You know what I mean? But that's not something you should want.
No, it's not. Because what is it? It's just street violence.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, usually fueled by poverty.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you want either of those things for
Right.
you or your family or your day-to-day living?
It's just so they can go on Instagram and be like, "Oh my god, someone got shot on my block today." Okay, kill yourself. I hate that.
Yeah.
Go back to fucking bumblefuck cornfield you came from.
How
Hate
does
that shit.
I was looking at, like I said, District 9, Killing Time, Judge, all these bands. I'm like, bro, the bands that came out of New York,
It's number one place.
it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, there are other places that have good bands, but not like how New York had it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like just Chromags, District 9, Judge, Gorilla Biscuits, all these bands, man, all came from one place, but now the 5 boroughs don't really produce. What bands are coming out of the 5 boroughs?
Now, shit. I don't
Are
know.
there any? I don't know.
Not new bands. Like, not that I can think of. The one I can think of is Combust from Staten Island.
Mhm.
That's really it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, there's a couple younger kids from Queens I've been seeing at shows, like Skating Kids.
Yeah, Keys.
Yeah. Keys
that's
and
the
Joel.
Yeah.
And I see Joel playing drums and shit. And every day I see him post shit. I'm like, please start a band, man. So you could be like a fuck New York City hardcore kid. Because New York hardcore is Long Island, as far as I'm concerned, and Combust from Staten Island. Like, yeah, it's an unfortunate thing because, you know, you want to go to a show in like Manhattan or like the Bronx or some shit and be like, oh, I'm seeing a band from the Bronx tonight, like a current band. But that's just not a thing anymore. And I think it might be because of the cultural shift that's happened in New York. You know, people here maybe aren't as gritty as, you know, our hardcore forefathers that grew up in fucked up places, and it forced them to write fucked up music. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have that in you, you go out and write a record, but like it's gonna show very, very quickly that you're not about anything that you're saying and that you're writing just to write. You know what I mean? So maybe it's that. Maybe it's people don't have it in them anymore to write that kind of music or to even start a band.
Because it is music that involves a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Not just in the way when you write it, but when you play it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see you, honestly, not even because you're in front of me right now, but you and a few other people, but you are one of my favorite frontmen.
I appreciate that.
And it's like when you move and you're moving on stage and you're like, you know what I mean?
It's all passion, dude.
You're like, it's like
It's all
energy's
passion.
flowing.
Yo, you can't tell me shit when I'm on that stage, man. I'm number one in the entire universe. Like, that's the best, the number one thing in this life that I know that I'm good at, that I have utmost confidence, is being on stage for 20, 25 minutes, playing music with my boys. Like, you can't tell me shit. Like, especially after a crazy set, I'm good. Like, that's all. I mean this to you with the most sincerity. All the money in the world, girls, like nothing could bring me the same happiness that I get after playing a crazy set. Cause like that's the best. That's my fucking. It's so corny. That's my drug for real. Like, it makes me emotional to think about sometimes because there's nothing that can top that. Whether it's Anchors Up where fucking 15 people go nuts, or like I said, or people in Japan, fucking Tokyo. There's no reason someone in Tokyo should know my name through music, but they do, and they're fucking going crazy, and like, that's tops. You know what I mean? Nothing could beat that.
I guess that's one of the greatest things about hardcore is that, unlike other genres, if you really put something with passion out there, people will actually hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
If it has true passion in it and you actually work hard towards it, people will literally hear about it, like you said, around the world.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to be a rapper or whatever else, for people in Japan to know your name, it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But with hardcore, it's different because there's, I don't know the reason why. I don't want to say the reason why, but yeah, man. Back to what I was saying, when you're singing and when you're moving around, you can see the passion flowing out of you, and I can't say that for every
A lot of people don't have it.
For every vocalist.
They just don't.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they do feel it, but maybe not in the same way. I don't know, man. But this coronavirus has it made you?
Made me antsy. I mean, so we went on tour. We did Asia, Australia, New Zealand. It was 6 weeks, left in February and came back like mid-March. And like 2 or 3 days after we got back home to New York, the city shut down. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? This is crazy. 2 days later, I got broken up with. And then the day after that, the city shut down. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? But I was like kind of chilling because like I was on the road for 6 months or 6 weeks. Planes, trains, automobiles, like buses, all that shit. So I was like, all right, maybe it's good to like not have to go to work or do anything. But after 2 weeks, I was going crazy. You know, I wanted to go to a show. We were supposed to play United Blood that year at the end of March, beginning of April. So we missed that. I was bummed. We were supposed to play the Rumble in Chicago. That got postponed as well, obviously. I mean, yeah, after a few weeks, I was going fucking stir crazy just because I just wanted to be at a show. I wanted to see my friends and shit. The idea of this live music hiatus continuing for another year or however many, it fucking kills me, dude. I want to see music. I want to play. Like, it fucking sucks, man. I don't make jack shit. I don't make no money off that, but I feel like I just need that to fucking survive. You know what I mean? Happily. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, and then when it happened, did you think that it was going to be...
Hell no. Long? When we left for tour, my mom was like, ponte tu máscara. Yeah. Wear your mask in the airport, because, you know, I'm like, yeah. We got to Asia, like, it was cool. Like, they already wear masks over there, so it was no big deal. Like, I didn't feel any which way about it. But I would hear news about what was happening over here, and I was like, oh, shit, it's kind of getting crazy. And then we are flying to Australia, I think, towards the end of the tour, and NBA postponed the season, NHL, all the sports leagues. I'm like, this shit is crazy over there. What the fuck? Man, I got home and I was like, you know what? Everyone's going to stay inside, this and that. Like by June, I for real thought by June or July, everything will be back to normal. The fucking yolk's on my face, you know what I mean? Nah, I did not foresee this at all. I don't think anyone really did. How could you? I mean, it's due to our own stupidity and selfishness that it's gotten this far, but it's, I don't know. Dude, this shit is crazy. Honestly, it was kind of fat for a second because I was driving out to Brooklyn and shit to like hang out or like to skate in Manhattan. 30 minutes flat. You know what I'm saying? Like no traffic, nothing like that. It was great for like a second. I was finding the good parts of it. And I like solitude. I like being by myself. But after a while, I was like, yo, I need a friend right now.
How long do you think it's going to last for?
Oh, dude, I could not tell you. I thought it was going to last for 3 months before. How the fuck would I know? I don't know. They got the vaccine dropping like this week, I think, and then
vaccine. I know the first nurse just got it.
Yeah, in the city,
Queens, I think yesterday.
But like New York, the fucking restaurants are closed down again. Los Angeles is, I don't know. It's weird. This is just life now. That whole like new normal bullshit people were saying on their Instagram before. This is just normal. You put on your mask. You don't eat inside. You know, use distance or whatever. But like, this is just life for the foreseeable future. It could last decades. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
shit's nuts.
It's crazy, man. What was the last show you played? In tour, right?
It was in New Zealand.
I think the last show I went to was The Answer played with Death Threat and Mind Force.
In Brooklyn, right?
I think that was place. The last one. I can't remember if that was it or. No, it couldn't have been the Edge Day show because that was all the way in October.
That was October, yeah.
Down to Nothing. You guys. Yeah, you guys played that, right?
Harry, our drummer Harry booked that show.
He books the best shows, man.
He's a real Brooklyn kid. He born and bred over here. You can't really say that for many people that put on shows in New York anymore. And he was like, dude, I don't, this weird like outsider influence that they have on hardcore and punk in New York is like it doesn't vibe with me. So let me just do it. And I got to give him utmost respect because he just did it. He books at the place Gold Sounds in Bushwick. And fucking, I don't know.
That place is pretty cool.
It's great. Yeah, I think it's a great venue. I see people outside like having drinks and shit. So, you know, they still got a little business coming through, thankfully. But yeah, no, Harry, he put the team on his back for sure with that. Because like, yeah, when you're from a place, you want your shows to be done for you, by you. FUBU, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I respect him for being like, I don't like this. Let me change it. You can complain all day about something. But if you're not going to at least offer an alternative, you can't really say shit. So he put his money where his mouth is, for sure.
No, he kills it. Imagine if there was a group of him.
It'd be nice.
How there'd be shows like, I remember at Anchors Up, there would be crazy lineups all the time. literally all the time.
Yep.
Sometimes I was actually lurking the other day on their Instagram, Anchors Up MVHC, and I was seeing the flyers. I'm like, yo,
Yep.
I didn't even care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I just not like, I'm like, yo, this is nuts.
Yeah.
One of them was like, bands to me was crazy. It's like, it was like the Mongoloids, like Fire and Ice, Colin of Arabia, Rude Awakening, and like Revenge, which to me, those are all top on my list.
Yeah.
And now, and then half of those bands don't even play anymore.
Take that shit for granted.
You really do. You really do. And that's what I'm trying to do, or was trying to do, or was not trying to do this time around.
Yeah.
Seeing all these flyers that would come out, all the ones at Gold Sounds, and even if it's just like, maybe I don't necessarily love the lineup, I would still like to go just for the sake of, taking part and supporting. And, if there's, even if I don't like the band, I really do say this sincerely. Anyone who does their thing, I have respect for them. If you make these meditation balls right here and that's what you do, I fuck with that. I like that you take time to make this how it looks, and maybe I don't care. I'm not gonna buy 400 of them, but I respect it. So when it comes to shows, if some of my friends are going, what's the problem with me just going and
exactly,
and chilling and
just vibe out.
relaxing, and then it makes the people not to have pity, but it makes the dude feel good. If people are actually there, because I've never been in a band. I've been talking about it for a minute, but I've never been in a band. But I can imagine you're playing a show and there's a horseshoe.
Sucks. Even like good shows you play with mad people, there's a horseshoe, and it's like, come on, what are we doing here?
I'd be like, yo, first of all, where are my friends? Because why aren't you guys like ODing it?
Yeah.
And second of all, can I just not play? You ever wanted to just not play?
Yeah, dude, you kidding me? Like when our first U.S. tour, we played 3 shows in Texas. First one was Houston, I think Austin, and then San Antonio or something like that. Houston was crazy. It was great. Bunch of Mexican kids just going fucking crazy. I loved it. It was awesome. We got tacos after. It was awesome. The next 2 shows were abysmal. And all the shows leading up to those in the other states were all good shows. Decent to very good shows. So I had and it was our first full U.S. tour. You know what I mean? So I had a little ego going. And when those 2 Texas shows hit me, they fucking hit me. I was like, I do not want to do this. We were playing for like 5 people because it was the same. It was a few days before Sound of Fury. So people in those scenes, I guess, were just out Sound of Fury, living it up in California. You know what I mean? A girl at the show was talking to me. She's like, yeah, this sucks. Like, everyone's in California right now. You guys picked a bad time to come through. And I was sitting there and I was like on my phone in the van about to play, talking to my group chat, whatever. And it's all older guys. And they're like, man, shut up. Like, you know how many shows Backtrack played to nobody? And it was just the merch guy dancing because she just got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, King Nine has played bad shows. All like Incendiary, like all the older guys from my area, they've all been there. And it's just a part of the game, honestly. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, who the fuck am I to freaking be upset about this shit? There's some kid over there in that venue that is dying to see my band. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to give it 110 because I'm, having a sob story over here. It's ridiculous. We played like 6 people. One kid in Title 5 hoodie was going off the whole time. And that's really all you want. You know what I mean? Like, one person being like, I care about your art, that's enough. That should be enough. You know what I mean? It is hard sometimes when you walk in the venue and you're like, oh, fuck, it's one of these. But like, you turn around, you look at everybody, you just kind of have a laugh. All you can do is laugh sometimes, and you just play the fucking show.
Are you still writing stuff?
Yeah, we're putting on an LP at some point. We have like 6 or 7 demos. We're taking our time because, like, I don't know. We kind of don't want to put it out unless we can play songs live. So we're really like trying to craft the songs. You know what I mean?
This might seem like an extreme question, but in terms of like the whole Corona thing, you're saying, what if there's no shows for 10 years? Do you think that it's possible that hardcore as a whole could like die out if there's no shows?
No, I think at some point people will start doing secret underground shows. And it would just be a risk that people will decide to take or not. And I will not say on this podcast if I will take that risk. But I don't know. Like, that is extreme. But, I mean, there was a show on Long Island. Everyone from there tries to put it out of her mind. It's like the weird Bizarro scene. But they had a show over there. And it made, like, Lamb Goat. And there was memes about it on Twitter. And it was fucking some goofy shit. But people are trying to make it happen. I don't know. It's time and place, and you got to read the room kind of, but I don't know. I don't want to think if this keeping going on for more than a year. I don't even want to put that in my mind.
There's a point when people break and they end up doing whatever they want to anyway,
Eventually, yes. Yeah.
So I guess that's the answer. People would just.
Yeah, I think so.
It makes total sense. There would be a boiling point.
People would be like, I don't care. Fuck it. There's a vaccine. I'll go get tested after the show and I'll figure it out after that. You know what I mean?
Realistically, if with how much, when things are present in your life, it's hard to realize how amazing they are. It's so hard. Even when you say that constantly, you remind yourself, don't take things for granted, whether it be people, relationships, situations, where you live, your neighborhood, whatever. But the things that's the easiest to take for granted are the things that literally seem like they could never go away. And why would shows ever go away?
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh snap!
Like the one thing, yeah.
It would be. It seems like a treasure to me right now. If they're like, oh yeah, this weekend there's like this band playing Saturday, I'd be like, I'm going no matter what.
Yeah, I would drive anywhere in the world for a mosh pit right now, dude.
It could be. No, I'd go pretty far.
Yeah.
I would go pretty far, and it would be. But before I wouldn't have thought that.
No.
At least not to the extent now.
Until something's on your front step, it's kind of hard to be like, I would act like this. Sometimes things have to be in your face. You have to be living it in order to know how you would actually react or to know how much you actually care about this thing. Sometimes you forget. Yeah.
I want to talk about the police situation that's been going down and something that you just said. You said until something's in your face, it's hard to know how you'd act in that moment. And I always think to myself, if there was a police brutality situation with one of my friends in front of me and I saw it happening, let's say that they yoked him up and they're just on the floor, just, really, really handing it to him. And there's a few of them, but only one of them's doing whatever. And I'm trying to get up in there. But I know that if I do get up in there,
it's your ass.
Well, one, it's my ass. Two, I'm not really going to be able to truly help him.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, I'm sorry to say, it's going to be two instead of one.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
Yeah.
And his ass is just going to get smoked. No. But you know what I mean? It's like, what do you do in those situations? Do you do what you feel is right, which is forget your physical body and what could potentially happen and do what you feel like you have to do as a person? Or do you do the, I guess, more logical, if you could call it that, and understand that your actions are futile, and then you will kind of feel like a coward for however long, if that's your kind of personality? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's hard to think long-term in situations like that, because you could act right away, or it could be like, all right, if I do this, we're both going to get fucked up worse. But in long-term jail time, like legal shit, that's not something that's going through your head right now. I think when things like that happen, it's kind of a fight or flight thing. Your instinctual primal instincts, you tap into that, and the first thing you want to do, usually, depending on what kind of person you are, but let's say it's someone who's like comfortable in themselves physically, they usually want to act, especially when someone that they care about is in danger. But like when someone you care about is in danger with people who could literally kill you, like on the spot without even having to touch you, it kind of changes things. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I don't think there's any, I can understand why someone would feel this way, but I don't think there's any cowardice in not wanting to get involved in something like that physically, because you could die. You know what I mean? You got a family and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you don't care about yourself in that moment, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your friends, this and that, they're going to care if something happens to you. And your friend who's getting beaten down, as much as they want you to help them in this moment, they don't want you to also feel what they're feeling. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know what I would do. Like, I was kind of in a situation similar to that over the summer at a protest, and I guess I did act. It wasn't as extreme as just fighting cops, but it was something similar. And I'm happy that I acted the way I did, regardless of the consequences that came with it. But yeah, I don't know. It's I think the question that needs to be asked is, what kind of person are you? And then you take it from there. Because I think it's okay to not do something. I think it's okay to do something, but it's just a matter of what part of your brain you tap into when that shit, is forced upon you.
Yeah. There's, I feel like it's easy to say that I would do this in that moment.
It's very easy.
Oh, he's a coward. He didn't do that. I would have done it, not for nothing. But then, when you're actually there,
Yep.
in anything,
Mm-hmm.
in anything, but especially in a situation as extreme as that, when you're actually there, you're gonna remember that you can get shot,
Yeah.
or whatever can happen,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you won't even think of that, and you just see 10 dudes versus one, and regardless of the shot factor, you're just gonna be.
It's just pure helplessness. You're like, what the fuck can I can't even get in there.
What do you think
You know
they
what I mean?
should do in terms of there's different solutions people place, defund the police,
Mm-hmm.
or we should do this or that. And my thoughts on the defund the police thing depends where you look at it, because some people, when they say that, they mean maybe reallocate those funds to different, and then some people mean just completely disband them, and then we form, I guess, a kind of self-policing society. But the thing about, in my opinion, about self-policing societies is that, well, what do you think happens? Eventually that turns into regular police
force.
Because if you're going to self-police, you're going to have, say that we get as a community together and we vote who's going to be the police. Am I going to choose the dude who's 2 feet tall or the dude who's 6? Probably the dude who's 6, because they might have to handle somebody. All right, we'll have a bunch of 6. All right, now, and then, are we going to have them have no weapons? Okay, we give them weapons now.
Yeah.
Well, what about bulletproof? Oh, fuck it. Let's just give them uniforms. And now we're back at square one, you know?
Literally.
So
Yeah.
what do you think is, I'm not saying you're a social planner or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Claw. But what do you think is some sort of solution?
Shit, I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I rack my mind around this shit, about this shit all the time. Obviously, I think reallocating funds is imperative to any city or any community, because there's no reason that cops should be walking around looking like G.I. Joe. There's no reason. They look ridiculous. Like, they don't need what they have. They don't need fucking a brigade of helicopters. You know what I'm saying? They don't need boats. Like, they don't need this shit. And then there's schools closing down everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And like, all of these, especially in New York City, all these parts of the community that are failing when they don't need to. The money is there. They find it for the police budget every year. Why can't they find it for the education system, or, you know, homelessness problem, or, you know, food shortages or anything like that? You know what I mean? Like, the money is there. I think getting rid of police altogether is just something that I can't even imagine, because it just kind of seems ridiculous to me. Not in like, oh my God, no, we need cops. That's crazy. But in like, I literally cannot imagine what that would be like. I don't know if people would be going crazy doing crazy crimes, or more than they already are doing, or if people would be like kind of just chilled out, or what. Like, I don't know. All I know is I fucking hate cops. I don't think they're integral to society, but they are a part of American fabric, unfortunately. And that's just like, that's just kind of life. You know what I mean? Like, as much disdain and vitriol I have for them, I also understand it's just life. And like, I feel like some people are like, they are so idealistic with their viewpoints, and they're like, no, we need to get rid of cops forever, abolish them. I'm like, okay, yeah. Then what? Well, ACAB. Okay. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there needs to be something that goes forward than just your anger. You know what I mean? You can lean into that anger for a second, live with it, but then there needs to be, you know, consciousness behind it. You know what I mean? You need to think about why you're angry, and then go from there. A lot of people are just blasting away on the phones, tweeting and shit like that out of their anger, and that's fine, but like, there needs to be more to it than that. And like, I wish I had a fucking answer as to what we should do about police, but I don't know. Stop fucking hiring psychos. Stop making the fucking training periods like a few weeks for some fucking schlub from Staten Island who's just an asshole. Then he has a gun. You kidding me? You're giving assholes guns? You're giving jerk-offs weapons. Like, bad people. Like, if people really care about police as much as they say they do, they should care that police are good people, should they not? You know what I mean? Like, I think the company you surround yourself with says a lot about you. And I think the company you support says a lot about you as well. I don't want to support people that I think are bad. So there are a lot of Blue Lives Matter people that'll be like, yeah, I know some cops are bad. Okay, well, then there's the problem right there. If you think some of them are bad and you love them so much, wouldn't you want to somehow increase the quality of them, of their training or something like that? Like, and if you care about this country and your community and all of that, shouldn't you also care about everyone getting a fair share of the pot in terms of money and funding? Like all this Blue Lives Matter, all lives matter, all that shit. I don't think it's out of this immense patriotism and love they have for the government and legalities and all that shit. I think it's just in opposition to shit that they don't understand, that shit that they don't like. You know what I'm saying?
We spoke on the show before, back when we first started, about the cop situation, and we related it to martial arts. How if cops, for example, were at least a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, which not only would enhance their physical training to the point where they wouldn't have to use lethal and deadly force or they wouldn't have to use 10 cops to take one person down. But with that training to get to a purple belt, which would take a few years, their mindsets and their discipline and their mentality changes. They become more, I don't know how to say it, like, I guess more understanding people.
For sure.
To generalize it, they would realize that not every situation has to get escalated to the point that, it can. With that confidence of knowing a martial art and that mentality of discipline, they can keep it, the situation doesn't have to go to that level.
They need to be humbled. They go into all these situations with such ego. They're fucking them as men. They think that like someone talking back to them is like an attack on their manhood. And they are on a power trip. But if they had maybe some martial arts training or just some sort of discipline and humble them, maybe if they got choked out a couple times, they'd be like, damn, like, I need to check myself right now. Maybe they wouldn't go into these situations so aggro over someone that's fucking half their size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
it's a lot of ego.
You know what? Something that I think that people don't recognize is that I've never been a cop. I've never even went on a patrol with one, or they have those things where you can follow along or whatever and see how it's like.
Ride along.
But I'm also not stupid. Like I can see that you part of your job entails putting on a bulletproof, carrying a gun, and when you show up to a situation, you're showing up to a confrontation, right? So if he comes here and knocks on my door, I'm not gonna be happy about it. So then I'm gonna open the door with a little bit of tightness. And what I'm saying is, when you do that so often, like you said, it's the company you keep and the situations that you're in. It's going to take a really special person to not get jaded, because you're seeing and doing a lot. And, not all cops are patrolling a nice neighborhood. Me and him were chilling in this one neighborhood, and there was this, we were in like the Queensbridge projects the other night. And there was this like party going on outside, and it was getting kind of hectic. And I thought to myself, imagine I was like, take away the word cop, but I was just the guy with one other guy who had to pull up and tell this crew of 70 people to bounce, right? So then I think that one of the things they should do is, I don't really know. They got to make the job one of the harder jobs to get, because you got to really want it, and you got to be like a samurai. You got to be so controlled that someone can really test you and spit in your face. And you can show, and then that, if anything, speaks well of you. You're showing well of your character, and I don't think there's anything, wrong with that. If you don't have to think that, because I have this gun and have this power, which you do. You have a kind of power. If you have a gun and they get in trouble for hitting you, but you don't get in trouble for hitting them, that's power.
Yes.
So you don't have to think. You don't have to think like that. You could be like that like Bruce Lee style martial artist in the movie that you see controlled when there's 70, 80, 90 people, and you're not bugging out. But that's not something that people think about at all. It's just kind of like, and I understand it. We're not in anyone else's shoes, but it's hard, man. And with all these protests going on, I'm sure it solved some stuff in terms of, maybe not solved, but maybe treated some conditions. But what is the actual solution? And I guess I think that it goes back to the whole lack of empathy in this country. It's like a deep-rooted issue.
It is.
It's not something that you're just like, well, make the public schools better so people feel happier, and then they don't grow up and punch someone in the face randomly.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we supposed to do?
I mean, it all goes back to money. It's always profit over people. You know what I mean? So like, why would they care about, if they gave money to schools, it's not because they want the kids coming out of those schools to be better, more well-rounded people. It's because they want those kids coming out of those schools with better education to go to college and then make money to put back into that community. It's always about money. You know what I mean? It's not about the people ever.
Yeah. What Angel was saying about empathy, I think a lot of it has to do with community also, because I think if I'm not mistaken, when a cop gets assigned to a certain neighborhood, it's not their own neighborhood.
Usually not.
It's a different neighborhood. So like, what is that? You know, like I feel like if a cop is assigned to like protect the store he goes to every day, or like the old lady down the street that he personally knows, it would be a different type of protection of the community.
Absolutely.
But like, since a cop is appointed to a neighborhood where, like you said, like everything is a confrontation, he's like not aware of how things move around, or like he doesn't know who that person is.
The culture of the area,
right?
Especially in New York, different areas have totally different cultures.
Yeah,
so I think
you might be in you might as well be in a different country being here than being in the lower.
Yeah.
You might as well be in a different country. The people move different. Something that you think is disrespectful might to them just be the normal day-to-day life. You know, this is like a Chinese neighborhood, Korean neighborhood. They don't. They move differently. You know, something that to us is like, yo, why did you just do this, man? To them, it's just their regular culture. Or you know, like Hispanic people, they're always touching. Maybe they're a little bit louder, or maybe they do this or that. And to you, it might be like, yo, shut up. Why are you this loud in a store? But to them, they're just, this is how they are. You know what I mean? And it's that lack of understanding, like Hurt said, it's that lack of understanding, lack of empathy that leads to all the ills of our society. It leads to racism. It leads to violence. It leads to one of the things we were talking about solutions. Because I don't want to be one of those people who just sits here and complains all day. Even if I'm not a government official or anyone that can propose a massive change just by my word, it's nice to put a seed of an idea in the minds of some people. One thing could be like you said, they're stationed in their neighborhood. And then another thing is they should make it just like how if you want to become a dentist, you have to do hours of shadowing at this clinic, hours of this, hours of that. Well, you got to do hours of this in this community, doing this help, to make some kind of building of compassion for these people and some sense of unity. Like, yo, this is my hood, so I'm gonna treat these people well, and I'm gonna make sure that, you know, no old ladies getting pushed into a train or whatever, you know. And another thing that I think they could do is this is I know it's probably a little bit more OD, but just how you could have online where all the cops in your neighborhood live. Mm-hmm. I know that's crazy, invasion of privacy. I'm just thinking about it in the sense that gives an incentive to not, as a police officer, not get rowdy. Yeah. Because, they all can know literally where I live. Maybe they're not going to attack me, but if I'm getting like my door banged down, then they run, or they who knows, man. It kind of
evens the playing field, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And in theory, in a perfect world, but not really, but in theory, I guess you would have nothing to worry about if you're not ODing. Yeah. I know it's like you could find a million flaws in what I just said, but I mean, in theory you could.
The basis is there, you know what I mean? I think it's accountability. You're not going to want to fuck up and do something crazy if you know there's a repercussion, you know what I mean? You want to take accountability for that. I think that's something that they need to do within their own system. Like, it shouldn't be people on the side that we're on coming up with solutions, because they're the ones who have the problem. So, and if they're seeing all these people are against them, well, why wouldn't they want to try to fix that? They don't. I think taking accountability is like the simplest thing they could do to really show people that they care. You know what I mean? You can't be in that job for a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? You don't become a doctor because you want to be rich. You become a doctor knowing you will be rich, but because you care about medicine and people and, health. You can't become a fucking cop because I'll do this for 20 years, have a nice pension, retire, and be okay. Like, you should care about the people you're supposed to be protecting. You know what I mean? And it goes back to what you said about the communities. Like, if you don't know nobody where you on your beat and where you patrol at, why would you care? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
especially if you were growing up in, like, let's say, and this happens often, they're growing up in like a rich neighborhood, and then they go get stationed in, let's say, like East New York.
Yeah.
Like,
happens a lot of Long Island kids jerk offs I know from high school, they end up working over here. It's like, bro, like, you grew up at a literally like fucking white picket fence, like the most like stereotypical suburb, and then you're out in fucking East New York. Like, there's no reason that should have happened.
But now picture, like, I mean, I don't even know, man, because I'm trying to picture like a situation where, let's say, someone was from the same projects as you and he became a cop and now he's patrolling your neighborhood. There's also that hostile side where it's like, oh, now you're a fucking cop, you're a snitch, you're this, you're that, like.
But there's only that hostile side because of the other side that creates
because of what already happened.
Because of what already happened.
Reputation,
Yep. I was reading this. There's this graffiti writer, Nove. He came on our show. He's legendary. And when he came, he gave us some of his books. And this dude, in one of his books, he said that one of the only solutions, and he looks at it not in the terms of cops. He's looking at it in the terms of war, how Japan did Pearl Harbor to us, and then we atomic bombed them twice, and then it's just like this cycle. And he was saying that one of the only rational solution or logical solution, something like that, he said, was to just wipe the slate clean mentally and just forgive all past wrongings and move from there. But it takes both sides to do that. It's just too, it's too but it is a good, like, if both sides could do that, that would be the wave. Because, all right, I don't remember that anyone does this, and then the cops can forget that a random civilian ran up on two cops and shot both of them in the face when they were in their car. Because, me being me, bro, not even a cop, but if I knew that, if I was a cop and I found out that a random dude had shot two people in the head, I wouldn't think, I'm just trying to picture in their shoes, I wouldn't think about anything else other than my mom, my grandma, if I had a wife, if I had two little kids. The only thing I think about is that, and my idea would be, yeah, I'm not getting shot today, bro. Like, when I pull up to a situation, I'm already going to have the hammer out because I'm not getting shot. Yeah. And I would tell my partner, be like, yo, I'm going to switch partners if you're not on point because I'm not playing this game, And it is an ongoing cycle. It is an ongoing cycle that it's not like an argument that it takes two, you know what I mean? But it's just a really complicated issue. I don't want to get too crazy deep into this because I could go on forever, but
it definitely takes two to tango. Yeah. You know what I mean? Ultimately.
What I would want to say to probably finish that off, but like, just take away the badge, take away the gun. At the end of the day, we're all human, bro. We're all in the same fucking like society. Break it down. Like, these people, they went to the same elementary school as you. They grew up maybe playing with you in the playground, but like, yeah, you disconnected, and then at the end of the day, you realize, oh shit, he's a cop now. But at the end of the day, we're all just fucking human. So like, for one human to have more power than the other, you got to really know what you're doing. You got to really condition your mind to, like, I think it all comes down to like having an understanding. And I know that's like a general vague term, but an understanding of like the community, understanding of yourself, most importantly, understanding of situations you could be in, understanding of the job, the power you're assigned to, the occupation. It's a lot of understanding. And I think like self-analysis as a police officer is very important. Like, they need to understand like the role they have in the society. And then, but the thing is, a lot of people, not only with just police officers, a lot of people think, oh, like, I'm just one person, I can't make a change, I can't make a difference in, let's say, the world or the police force, But I truly think it does make a difference if one person speaks up or one person acts. Like, I'm talking about cops, If they change the way they are and their relationship with the community, I think it does start from there. So
ripple
if that
effect.
means anything, yeah, like
a snowball. I wrote a song about all this stuff. Be on the lookout for the next LP.
Oh, sick. Can't wait. Is it called Ripple Effect?
No, okay, but maybe that would be a good name for it, honestly.
What's next for you? What do you do on your day-to-day now?
Shit. So when like quarantine started, I couldn't go out and play sports and shit. Couldn't like work out and shit like that because the gyms were closed, and that fucking killed me because I like being active. So I bought a new hockey stick, a new pair of skates. I grew up playing hockey, and I would just go to like this school by my house and just throw a ball up against the wall. And then one day I was like, damn, Manhattan is like a ghost town now. And then I would just drive to like Penn Station area, like Chelsea, get out on my hockey skates and just skate around the city. And I would go on IG Live and shit, and people were like, wow, this is fucking nuts. Yo, it was crazy. Like, not even that late, like 10, 11 o'clock. I'd skate to like 1 or 2 in the morning, and it would be just no one out. It was very bizarre. And it was cool. And I was like, then I was just skating a bunch, and I was doing like distance. Like, I would do like every couple of days I do like 17 miles where I live, like out like down by the water and back. And I was like, if I'm going to be doing this shit, like, I need better skates. So I got honestly into like rollerblading, as like whack as some people may think that is. But like, I don't know, shit is cool. There's a lot of different like styles and shit. And like, I like doing distance. I did a marathon a couple months ago.
You do tricks?
Nah, I don't do like aggressive.
I used to see those kids at the banks, the Brooklyn banks.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to go there, and the
like aggressive shit.
Murk it.
Yeah.
They were all
when
hood.
You're good at that shit,
they were all mad hood. Yeah. it was pretty fresh.
When you're good, it looks cool. I just like going like far. I just like doing distance or like freestyle, just kind of like flowy type shit. But on my day to day now, it's like I'm not working, and I don't want to go to a gym. The gym I went to back home, like on Long Island, is like very blue lives, all lives matter type shit. And like, I was cool with it before because honestly, you grow up in New York or Long Island, especially, that's just a part of life. Yeah. I mean, it would be very foolish of me to think that I could escape that somewhere living on Long Island. It's not a possibility. So it's just something you got to swallow. But now we're like, with the, you know, recent social uprising, I was like, doing what I've done the last few months, I can't go back to a gym that supports that type of shit. So I'm not even worried about it. I was living in Richmond, Virginia over the summer. I got into like gymnastics and shit and like rock climbing and shit like that. And I realized I don't really care about picking up weights right now. I was super into powerlifting a few years ago and like that was cool. But right now I just like moving my whole body and like doing other shit. You know what I mean? I'm actually going down to Richmond this week. Hopefully be doing some more gymnastics and rock climbing and shit down there.
What kind of gymnastics?
Yeah,
what do you mean by
it's like tumbling, like
sick. Like,
just
like tricking and shit.
Yeah, on mats. Because
like the things where you're like on the.
Oh hell no, that's some Olympic shit. Nah, I can't do that shit. But I got one day during quarantine, I was like, I want to learn how to backflip because I remember I know the background on my phone is a picture of HR from Bad Brains mid backflip. He's upside down. I'm like, I just want to know. I want to be able to do that the first show back, honestly. So I taught myself how to do it. It took me like 40 minutes.
You could do it standing now?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
And yeah, I was in Richmond and I was like, I just want to like, if I can get a backflip in less than an hour, I could probably do some other shit. And then I did. I figured it out. I think my body was made to just be spinning in the air. I think, you know, I'm not the biggest guy and shit. And pound for pound, I'm pretty strong, but I feel like I'm just made to just flip and shit. So I kind of took to gymnastics pretty quickly. Tumbling, you know, like floor routine shit that you see. That's like the type of shit that I'm into.
It's like gyms cool. Open out there right now?
In Richmond, Virginia, in the South, they were. I'm not sure what the vibe is now. Yes. In New York, it's hard to find. Like, honestly, I was just doing shit on like fields. Sick. Just fucking myself up when I bailed on hard grass.
That's all you need, man.
Yeah.
I know that the gymnastics is one of the highest levels of strength.
Mm-hmm. Oh because, my god, dude! The people that are really good at it, their bodies are crazy.
George St. Pierre, he's like a legendary UFC fighter, and he does gymnastics because he went and he saw that with all his strength, he couldn't do what they did. Mm-hmm. So he started training in it, and that's part of his routine. I think he's one of the only fighters that incorporates that into his routine, which I think is really sick. Yeah. I don't know anything about it. I do like. Me and him both do. We work out a lot. We do just calisthenics. Mm-hmm. And that's actually how we started this podcast because I was in Mass during the first few months of the quarantine and he was in South Brooklyn. So we'd FaceTime and we would just do pull-ups, push-ups, dips, sit-ups, squats.
Calisthenics, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
That shit is like, that's a level of strength I haven't tapped into yet. Like, I was doing mat pull-ups over the summer. Every time I left my room, I did 3 pull-ups. And every time I come back, I do 2. And I was on the pull-up shit for a while, but like if you're like holding yourself up and going upside down and like the crazy like raises and shit.
Pull up your grams and show him some
that
stuff,
shit is crazy. That's some real concrete jungle fitness right there.
He's been doing concrete Russian jungle for a long time, man. You'll see he's gonna pull up some.
That shit is very impressive.
No, but click one. Let me see.
Oh my god, muscle up into a handstand. Bro, are you? Yo, what the fuck?
I've shown a few people this one when they pull
This
up.
Nigga's in the circus. This is crazy. That's crazy, dude. How you not scared doing that? Oh my god, bro. Your rotator cuff hates you. I know that.
I actually never was into gymnastics. Like I never.
You would be nice at gymnastics, dude.
I actually just like from like.
That was fried. That one's straight up fried.
That's crazy, dude. My mobility would never allow me to do this, dude. This is as far back as I could put my arm, bro. Like, that's insane. Powerlifting fucked my body up. I wish I could do some shit like that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, I got into that like 5 years ago. Straight from watching this one other guy. Shout out to Nairo. You probably won't listen to this, but fucking. Yeah, he's like a 40-year-old dude. Mm-hmm. He's like 200 pounds, and he does this shit like crazy.
I'm sure he's cut the fuck up too, right?
Yeah, his whole life is like working out, and it's just a part of it because he's like a construction worker too. He's just like a hobby, I guess. Mm-hmm. And seeing him do that shit, I was like, there was something about him, the way he moved around. Like, I'm not talking about like in that shit. I'm talking about the way he moves around like on the streets, like the way he like kept to himself. He had like this aesthetic that I like really fucked with. Like he's all tatted up, like bald, like he just like keeps to himself, and I'm like, yo, that dude's a savage, and he does this shit like.
And he's a writer.
Yeah, and he's like
a boss. He does.
he was known for being
super high up, climbed
So
up.
he was just on his Spider-Man shit.
He's
going up
literally
there.
called the Spider-Man of graffiti,
That's
like
dope.
back in the
That's
days.
sick.
And I don't know, just something appealed to me. And like, I don't want to like toot my own horn or his, but I think we're like the only two people in the world that have taken it to that level in terms of like handstands. Because we also do like high spots too, like on the edge of fucking like overpasses
Oh, you're on
and
that.
shit.
You're on that Russian like GoPro shit.
A little bit.
That
little
shit is
bit.
that shit scares the motherfuck out of me, dude.
Yes.
That's sick. Is that the only like working out you do now? Like, are you
Honestly,
lifting
that
weights?
shit's kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like for show. I don't really do that like in terms of training. I mean, I definitely do. Like, I keep at it, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, I stick to basics mostly in terms of
Okay.
training, like just push-ups, sit-ups, like
Right.
pull-ups,
Yeah, yeah.
and then that shit just like on the side. I guess I dabble with, you know, like once in a
The
while.
cool thing about it is you don't need nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Unless you could get a home pull-up bar for, you know, 10, 18 bucks.
Yeah.
And then you could get right on that. That's all you really need. It's really crazy. A lot of people, you know, I understand if it's different if you're powerlifting, you need the weights.
Yeah.
But a lot of people at my jiu-jitsu gym, they're telling me like, oh, like I can't work out because I don't have a gym. I'm like, bro, you get a floor, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need, and you could get crazy with that.
Yeah.
And there's, you know what's cool about it is I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a whole culture of it in New York.
Oh yeah, of course. I've
Like
seen
all
that shit
all
growing
the
up.
park dudes, the bar
Yeah, of
star
course.
dudes, bartenders, like
It's a very New York thing, especially if you don't come from money or if you don't have money for a gym membership. What else are you gonna do? Monkey bars and all that shit.
I think
Yeah.
it's cool because they show they can achieve similar results physically, how you look.
Yeah, they look
with just
insane.
that. They look insane.
They look crazy. Sometimes a little top heavy, but you know, that-
Yeah.
It's like the gymnastics shit you're talking about. Like,
yeah.
they don't. I don't know if they really condition their bodies. I'm talking about like in terms of reps and sets.
Mm.
But like just after years of doing that shit, they're like, bro, those
Yeah,
people
their bodies
insane.
are
You could be like
absurd.
12 years old and be like super jacked.
I wish my parents made me do that shit instead of like soccer and all the shit I was doing as a kid, because I would be somewhere else right now in the world. I think I'd be Olympic level gold,
Insane.
bringing home the gold for Colombia.
And it's not like ripped in terms of lifting weights. It's like complete control.
It's
of
true
your
strength.
fucking
Yeah,
body.
complete
It's
control.
true strength,
Complete
stability.
control. And that
You said total
ripness like
control.
comes with it.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Fucking
Total control of the soul and the vessel.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the mind of the body. Yeah,
That's
dude.
fire.
But yeah, bro. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
on
me,
the show,
man.
bro.
I appreciate it. Had a great
Peace.
time.
Seb from Regulate.
Thank you, man.
Respect.